hopefully this is working this time. Because apparently last time I set it to public, but it didn't go public, it went private. It'll be what it'll be. Hopefully we got it right this time. So, battle plans going forward. What is the strategy? So, we've got Opportunity Forge, this channel, and Roving Jack channel to play with. Roving Jack, I just need to get the chance to hop back on Roving Jack and start editing those files again. But Opportunity Forge, I'm very curious to see, and I want to kind of do the. Right now, I'm going to try to stick to maybe just this strategy we sort of talked about. I talked about last time when I seemingly set the thing to public, but apparently it went up as private. And so I did go back and change the setting after the video. I checked in on it when you go to end stream, when you end a live stream, it gives you the option to dismiss it and just go back to the regular studio page, or you can go into the edit. So I went into edit, went up to general information, and sure enough, it had set it as private. So I set it to public as soon as I finished, and I got off last time. Got off live stream. I think I need to be a little more specific when I phrase it that way. Yeah, hopefully this time it's running all right. It looks like the chat looks right, and viewer count is looking right. So yeah, hopefully I got it right this time, and it's not going to pick a fight with me. Opportunity Forge videos, I'm like, there's a part of me that's like, don't fiddle with it. Do what you can solely from there, not from here. The goal for that one is really to get a sense of like really from ground zero, not bringing any subscribers from any of my other channels over. I mean, you came over, so that's not I'm not going to push you away or anything, but the idea is to see legitimately from data gathering experiments what will get a channel launched. Now, one of the reasons I did it in the format that I did it last time is specifically a lot of people were talking about how the new way to get noticed is to upload short videos to the short shelf. So they're videos meant to be watched on a smartphone. They're meant to be under a minute long, and they get more visual traction than other YouTube videos because other YouTube videos are lost. Like every minute that we're on here, hundreds of, if not thousands of videos are being uploaded to YouTube. So that content is just a veritable sea of content that for me to be found in is harder. But YouTube has set up a section called Shorts that has some ways around that, at least from what some people have been saying. Now, whether or not that option has become saturated as more people figured out that this is a way to latch onto, I don't know. But the implication had been that if you want to get noticed easier, you will be less drowned out if you do short videos, like 60 seconds or less, in the vertical cell phone format. So they're sort of trying this thing out to compete with, I think it's TikTok or Instagram or whatever, stories or whatever they are. I'm not entirely sure. But the first few videos will be an experiment to see whether or not that makes any difference to growth. Because I will say, Roving Jack channel has been very slow, but also fairly steady growth. Like I went a year or more, almost 2 years, I think, without an update on that channel, and I still get notices about once or twice a month that 1 or 2 subscribers came by. And so it's like, yeah, it's not a lot, but for several years of time where you can expect 1 or 2 people to subscribe in that time, I've built an audience that's much bigger than this channel gets, and I've been running both channels for the same length of time. I started them in almost the same month of the same year. This channel doesn't even have 100 subscribers, if I remember correctly, whereas Roving Jack has over 500. And those are both very slow growers. But I have not actively pursued trying to grow those channels. But Opportunity Forge, what do I need to do if I'm going to treat that channel like I want to grow it? And so that's going to be something I may have to do, like things like social media pushes. So like Twitter, maybe TikTok, Instagram, those kinds of things. A Facebook page, and just sort of see what I can do with those in a sort of marketing strategy approach, as well as make videos that I can upload to Facebook potentially and have those be as a lead-in to things I do on that channel. There's also the possibility of doing things like contests for those types of channels, where people do, like, for the top contributor to this project that I'm working on or whatever, will give a free copy of a book or some such thing. I don't even know what I would do for that yet, but that is definitely one thing I can do. I need to think about, like, does branding on the channel make a difference, where the channel art and the logo and that kind of stuff is done in the thumbnail of a video in such a way that if I can get the video shared on other platforms, like clips from the video shared on other platforms, that I can use that branding to link to my YouTube channel, and it would draw people from outside sources. There's questions about doing YouTube ads. So advertising a project that I want to get people involved with would be something that could draw in more viewers, and it would cost me money to do that, which I'm not interested in really doing right away anyway. But there are also equivalents of that you can do on other formats. So like on Reddit, you can make a post about a project in a subreddit of a related topic. So if I were to do a video on fire breathing and see if I can find a Reddit group about fire breathing, like, as I'm going to try to learn to do fire breathing as one of my projects this year, one of the things I'm going to try to do is fire breathing is one of those things, from what I've been able to read, most people do it with sort of lamp oil. But lamp oil is one of those things, like, you really don't want to breathe the fumes of that for very long, and you really don't want to have any of it in your digestive system. But like, people who do fire breathing, they get some of that in them, and it's whether or not 30 years down the line you're starting to develop tumors from it, is a question of whether or not you're prone to developing problems from that kind of thing, I guess. But that unknown factor is a hurdle. But here's the thing. I know you can do fire breathing with cornstarch or other, like, flour, where you can put the dry ingredient in a dry mouth and then blow out some of the dust across a flame and it'll go. And because they're food-based, they're safer for you. but it's still a dust that you could inhale, and you can give yourself a lung infection or something like that if you're not careful. Now, ideally, you don't want to inhale anything that you put in your mouth to do fire breathing, because even if it's lamp oil, it's going to be toxic stuff in your lungs that you can't get out. Food-based stuff is potentially something that'll break down through biological processes, so it's potentially a little safer, but still, you don't want to breathe a dusty cloud of cornstarch. But you can do it with mineral oils, which again are not natural, so they won't break down in your body quite the same way. But it has been suggested that some vegetable oils might work too. So I am potentially going to experiment with finding out whether or not only can I teach myself to blow fire, but can I use cornstarches and vegetable oils in a way to do it that doesn't expose me to toxic or petroleum chemicals or things that can cause health problems in the longer term. Now, whether or not having a mouthful of vegetable oil is potentially going to cause a laxative effect later on, that's a possibility. But I do remember from when I was younger and in some of those health crazes that I did when I was super young, that if you ever need to know, this is probably more than you need to know right now, but if you ever have an issue and you need a laxative, but you don't have pharmaceutical laxatives, and you don't have Epsom salt, which can also be used as a laxative, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I pretty much guarantee you, within a day and a half maximum, you will be empty. So yeah, a lot of vegetable oil probably also has some effects that are not desirable. But if that's the worst thing that happens, then we're probably pretty lucky. If we don't set our faces on fire and we don't give ourselves cancer from petroleum chemicals, that's a good thing. But anyway, yeah, so doing a video on using vegetable oils, different vegetable oils, and the different abilities of them to be used in making a fire-breathing apparatus, not only the torch, but the ability to blow fire. That information could be shared on a Reddit post in a group talking about either learning new skills or fire breathing or those types of things. And that kind of post made appropriately for you for a Reddit post would be a traffic driver. It would be something that would get eyes to the channel and get it noticed. And that's the trick with YouTube, as far as I can tell, is if you can get eyes on a project and reactions to a project or a video, then uh-oh, I lost it. Then the reactions actually get it in front of more eyes. And the more eyes see it, the more reactions you get, the more eyes it gets in front of. It's a snowball effect. And if you can find ways to trigger off a good snowball, you're in good space. And I want to try those things out, because those are things I'll probably never do on this or the Roving Jack channel. I don't have the marketing drive to do that for those channels. I was going to show off the thing I dropped, but I don't know if I can find it again. I think it rolled under the bed. But I had a 50-cent coin and a $1 coin, and that's one of the things I'm going to try to learn to do is roll it across my knuckles. I don't think I have the skill to do it yet. And that's the point, is to start from not being able to do it to get to the point where I can do it. And not only do it, but do it down, roll it back up, and do it again. And then there is a thing you can do where you can roll it down one and then the other and then roll it back up. or do a waterfall. I've seen people do that where they do down one, down the other, down the other, down the other, down the other. I've seen that, and I was like, that looks like it could be fun to try to learn to do. So that's one of my projects to learn to do. In the meantime, I'm hoping to set up the forge. That's probably going to be something I do mostly over on the Roving Jack channel. I might do a 60-day learning project for forging on Opportunity Forge too. Just, I mean, it fits, right? And it makes sense. But as it stands right now, I think this month is predominantly going to be the introductions to each of the categories of content, which, as it stands right now, is introduction, which we've done, channel trailer, which I haven't done yet, the learning project, the financial project, and the monthly challenges. So monthly challenges is a little ways out. Monthly challenges is on the 27th, which isn't as far away as it feels like it is. It'll be on me before I realize it. Yeah, so the YouTube channel, learning, investing in entrepreneurship, monthly challenges. Those are 4 things. And I know I was talking last time about whether or not it made sense to try to do a 5th thing to get one for each day of the week. And I don't know. And I don't know what day makes the most sense to do the runoffs for each category. Like YouTube channel starting from scratch is going to be Wednesdays, because that's when I started it. And I started on the 7th specifically because June 1st was going to be 60 weeks away. The monthly challenges are going to be started on the 27th because the June 21st solstice is the end of the June project next year. So it would be going from, technically, May 1st would be the first project we fully start as a monthly project start on Opportunity Forge. So May 1st would be photography book. And then we're looking at June, which would be the game jam, a solo by Solstice. And then July is independent film. Then August is a recipe a day for a month. And then September is Paint-tember, where we do paintings every day. And then October would be Skittober, which is a skit for short media every day. And that could be something I can do for the shorts again. I do a short skit every day for the month of October. And then November is penultimate, so something to do with pen work, either calligraphy, handwriting, or pen artworks or stuff like that, or spinning pens if you want to. And then December is going to be an invent calendar. So instead of an advent calendar, you do an invention every day. And they can be kooky, weird, fun, crazy inventions. They don't have to be anything really useful and genuinely a product design. Some of them can be if you want them to be. But invent calendar, and then January is animation. February is the alphabet project again. March is the marching to your own tune, so a music project. And then April will be April fooling around. I'll probably be doing magic tricks then. No promises. I might try to do another round of stand-up comedy. And then The May second round is another photography project. Probably. We may figure out something else to do that for. Because the photography project this month is in there because I thought doing a photography project would be worth it. But May, as the month of making a photography book, we can make a lot of things. So making anything is, up for grabs for next May. And then June is a Solo by Solstice game jam again. And we'd finish off that one with a different type of game. So we might do a board game this year and a video game next year, or vice versa, or card games, dice games, pinball games. We could do all sorts of games. I've been making a bad joke at work on a few occasions where people keep buying badminton rackets. And I say, everybody's always playing badminton. Nobody's playing good mitten. And somebody actually did say, you should invent it. And I got to thinking, what would good mitten be? Would it be cooperative instead of competitive? Instead of hitting it at each other, you're hitting it to each other and back and forth to try to keep it above the ground cooperatively for as long as possible. Like, what's the game? What is good mitten? How do you play it? And I'm like, I could probably see if I could come up with something, but that's a very different kind of game design. It's not a board game or a tabletop game or a role-playing game or a video game. So it would be a little bit different and a little bit weird to try to come up with something like that, but I could see doing that. I might just do that as a side project because I want to do a more traditional game design during those time periods. But by that point, I should hit that ending on the Solo by Solstice in 2022. And that will have given us one of each of the projects and two of them. So we will repeat May and June. But other than that, we'll have done a whole year of projects. And because I've already started a year of those projects this year, we're going to have a year and 2 months plus January, February, March, April. So a year and a half of doing a project every month by that point. But that would be where on that channel, I would necessarily have to stop with the weekly updates on projects that I'm working on and just potentially shift over to doing something else on that channel. Like the Opportunity Forge, I don't think it would make sense for me to, for the next 5 to 10 years, do weekly updates on doing monthly projects, because I think after the first year it loses its novelty. I can still introduce each month again as we're headed back into, Janimation, and this will be what I'm working on, and I can then link to what I make by the end of it. But I'm not going to weekly update for the next however many years I try to keep that channel running. I do think we're going to have some changes at a certain point where I drop the monthly challenge updates, and I'm going to hit that first year mark with the YouTube channel development and see what that looks like, and probably drop that after the first year, which would then leave us with learning, an investment, and an entrepreneurship. One of those points I can swap in starting an art career from 0 to 60 and see what I can do with that in 60 weeks. So at that point, that's probably going to be treated as a So if we do learning and okay, so that makes a little more sense. So if we do Money Mondays, YouTube channel Wednesdays, and Learning Fridays, and then when we get to the end of the first year and 2 months, we drop the YouTube channel updates and switch that to Art Career from 0 to 60, that would fit into the Wednesdays. And so it would be Money Mondays, Art Wednesdays, Learning Fridays. And the monthly challenges are just a thing that I'm doing for a year, and it doesn't have to make the rest of the schedule have to fit a 5-day schedule. Okay, I think I can settle on that. So it's predominantly going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if we do it that way. And Tuesdays will be an update on the monthly projects for the first year, and then we just let that one slide. So, do we do Money Mondays or Financial Fridays? And then what is learning? And YouTube channel 1 is Wednesdays. I can't make that a Wednesday. Watch Wednesdays, I guess. I don't know. I feel like some part of me wants to do alliteration or rhyme. Learning. What is a synonym for learning or skill acquisition? There's got to be a term for it. I found my $50. It's hidden under the edge of the bed. Ta-da. I'm pretty sure this isn't the one I had from when I was a kid. Because I can remember one of the, for a very long time in my life, I kept the $50 that my dad gave me when I was like 5. It's like my first $50 ever. And I don't know what happened to it. This might be it, but I wouldn't guarantee it. But I think that's a pretty hefty, solid coin to try to do rolling on my knuckles. So I'm going to try to learn to do that. And fire breathing. And forging metals. And foundry work. Archery. Knife throwing. Probably knife making. Juggling. Maybe juggling knives. Maybe pick up a martial art. Maybe some fencing. I don't imagine I'll do horse riding, but I could give it a try at some point if that came up. Or unicycle riding or bicycle riding without hands. I don't know. I mean, I can look at a bunch of things and explore those opportunities. And that's sort of where the channel is going to get its meat and stuff from, is monthly projects like that, where I give 60 days or 60 hours to trying to learn something new. And the monthly challenges of the photo book or the game jam or the independent film stuff, that that all is similar to the learning or challenging myself. The entrepreneurial stuff is making a business out of stuff so that I can move away from being an employee and become a business that supports itself. And the YouTube channel Growth from Scratch is an attempt to learn a little bit about how to manage a content style of business, not just like a sales. Like I could sell t-shirts all day long. That probably wouldn't be something that would be difficult to do. Now, whether or not I get the sales, I don't know. Like there's a whole game of marketing behind doing stuff like that I don't know how to do particularly well yet. I probably have most of the knowledge to do it. I'm just not used to thinking that way or doing that sort of stuff. But that's what the YouTube channel From 0 to 60 is. It's moving outside of that comfort zone of being a creative person who wants to pursue their creative stuff as a career into being a business person, starting a business, taking it like a job and managing it like a job to see what kind of difference that'll make into the growth of that kind of thing. So I'm very curious to see how that goes. And it's going to run into some of my personal hurdles of like, do you start spamming messages to family and friends and networks of people that you work with or whatnot to let them know, here's this thing, come check it out, like, subscribe to the channel and help it grow quickly early on? See, I struggle with that kind of thing. I wouldn't necessarily spam them about it, but to me, that kind of like self-promotion aspect is a little bit harder for me to wrap my head around because I don't do it for this channel. I don't do it for Roving Jack. I probably could, and it would help those channels grow a little more. But like that was never my intent to focus on those for those channels. But Opportunity Forge is giving myself permission to focus on growth and development of that as a venue. We'll see what I can do with it. It's exercising a muscle I don't use. And so it's going to take a little getting used to. But so I think the Monday, Wednesday, Friday format is probably what we should settle on. Tuesdays are probably just going to be what is the first day of May? It is a Saturday. Okay, so I will intro the monthly projects list on the 27th, the Tuesday, because that would give us 60 weeks before June 21st, which would be the end of the solo game jam in 2022. But I may immediately migrate that over to being updated on the start and end of each month. Nah, probably the Saturdays. If I do like weekly updates for it, I'll probably do updates on the Saturdays or Sundays. So the 29th would be the Saturday at the end of May. But the start of the next monthly project, which is the game jam, would be Tuesday again. But introducing it and the lead up to it could be done on the 29th. And then the end of June's project is the 21st, which is technically the Monday the 21st. But the 26th would be enough lead up time to get ready for Independent Film Day, which starts on the Thursday, the 1st of July. And then July ends on a Saturday. So August is try a new recipe every day for a month. That'll start on the 31st, the day before the first day of August is good enough. I mean, it's a day of warning before you get started. I mean, it's not something that you have to generate your own ideas or work heavily on like for a week before you get started. Like, you're just going to find some recipes and try a new recipe every day. And I'll give people a heads up that these things are coming as the intro to this project this month on the 27th. But from then on, it looks like doing the Saturday before the end of the month as the lead up to the next month, and starting the month on the first Saturday or the first day of the month, literally in most cases. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can give updates on Saturdays and weekends is, I guess, probably the better way to do that. Not commit necessarily to Saturday or Sunday, but just say on the weekends we'll be updating for the projects for the coming month. The first one we're going to do is the 27th because, again, like I said, it's going to be nicely lining up with the 21st of June 2022 for 6 weeks or 60 weeks. April 27th, 2021 is exactly 6 weeks away, 60 weeks away from June 21st, 2022. So that is the time to do that. And I kind of like that. Not only will it finish on the end of the Game Jam in 2022, I think that's when that is. Summer solstice. 2022. Summer solstice 2022 is Tuesday, June 21st. And very close to my birthday. Well, my birthdays. The fun story about that is my birthdays I have sort of two. I was born in a cabin in the woods on June 24th, on a year where that fell on a Friday. So I'm in a very rural part of the country, and there isn't a town office for registering births in the town in which that cabin is in the backwoods of. So I was born in a cabin in the woods, of a town that's so small it doesn't have a town hall. So you have to go to a neighboring town to really register anything that happens like a birth. So I was born on a Friday night, after which the town hall in the neighboring town where you'd have to register a birth was closed. The town hall wouldn't open until the subsequent Monday. And that Monday was 24 was Friday night, 25 was a Saturday, 26 was Sunday, 27th was Monday. I was registered as having been born on the 27th of June. I was born on the 24th on the floor of a cabin in the woods of some redneck little middle of nowhere town. And so my birth certificate says my birthday is the 27th of June. My actual birth date is the 24th of June. And the summer solstice, when we'll finish this 60 weeks of monthly projects, will be the 21st of June. So that's decent. It's 3 days before my birthday, and my birthday is 3 days after my birthday. So that works. It's a nice little sandwich. Celebrating a year of projects, celebrating a year of, and that because we finished the year of opportunity, the 60 weeks of Opportunity Forge as a channel in June, we finished that on my birthday month. So I think that's all nicely fitting together. I think it works relatively nicely. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. It's going to be a fun series of projects to work on. But that's sort of my thoughts so far. I think sort of settled on that Monday, Wednesday, Friday format. And the weekends are going to be the announcements on the monthly challenge projects. Actually, that does bring a question to my mind. So if we started on the 27th of April and it finishes on the 21st of June, the end of the solstice project, but if we technically say that we don't start that until that Saturday, 21st, this 27th to 21st, 28th to 22nd, 29 to 23rd, 30th to 24th. If we did Saturday the 1st, it would be the 25th of June when we finished the project. I still like starting with that week of that 4 or 5 days of notice before we start the month, in case anybody joins me. I don't imagine too many people are going to join me for the first round, but who knows? We'll give it a try. And that is one of those other things where that's probably where I'm going to share that channel with my friends on Facebook, my family and friends, is to post a video of the monthly project coming up to Facebook, linking to the video on YouTube about making a photo book in the month of May and doing weekly updates of my progress with that so that people can check out the project as we're going. And share that on Facebook, and that'll probably get some eyes on. But I could probably see about I could probably start a Discord or a subreddit for that kind of thing. I don't know about starting a subreddit. I've never started a subreddit. I am not a good Reddit user. I don't use it very much. I'm only really starting to get into using it for some things, but I'm not good with it yet. But again, that may be just one of those skills I have to learn and try and practice, and see whether it's beneficial for the things that I'm going to be doing. Because as a means of introducing and showing off the things for growing Opportunity Forge, as well as ways of getting people interested in a line of t-shirts or a board game that I release or those types of things. It's a useful forum for expanding and growing that kind of project. And I think I'm just going to have to knuckle down and learn how to do it. But we are 45 minutes in. I am thankful that I seem to have gotten everything working tonight so that the video went up and everybody can see it as it goes. And I appreciate you joining me. Today is Sunday. I don't know what day I'm on anymore. It's been that kind of week. It's Sunday, so I guess next live stream is Tuesday. And by then, we should have the next video up on Opportunity Forge. And hopefully, if I can get myself back in the swing of it, I might be able to start doing videos on here, uploaded during the day. Some of my reviews of things with creative prompts inspired by them. And if I can get a little bit more work into that process, I might be able to start uploading videos to Roving Jack again. I do think by the end of this month, I'm giving my notice at the one job that's just killing me at this point. Ready to just trim that one off and find something else to fill its space. Take a couple weeks off while I get applications in at other jobs. I don't know. We'll see. I think by the end of this month, I'm probably going to put my notice in. If I last that long. I can't say for sure I'll last that long. There are definitely days that I feel like just walking out of there. I can't do that much longer. All right. So thanks for joining me tonight. Take care and have a good night. I need to have a more patterned ending to these and not a massive ramble with, oh, by the ways. Hope things are going well where you are. I will see you in the future.